Good afternoon. I begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which I'm speaking to you, the Ngunnawal people, and pay my respects to elders past and present. I'd also like to acknowledge all people with disability here today for taking the time to be here at this important event, in particular, Poppy Mullins, for your enduring commitment to improving the lives of people with disability. Thank you for your warm introduction, Claire. I'm delighted to speak to you virtually to give the opening remarks at the first public event for the new National Disability Research Partnership. This is an important milestone, and I'm excited to see us welcoming key stakeholders from across the country, people with disability, researchers, advocates, service providers, and policymakers, to look at how future research can help drive evidence-based decisions to work towards eliminating restrictive practices in all settings across Australia. This is in the essence of the partnership, which brings together people with disability, researchers and government to develop a research agenda with the core goal of improving outcomes for people with disability. Importantly, the partnerships put people with disability at the centre of driving research priorities to focus on issues that impact them. This partnership is an Australian first entity and will be instrumental in building the research evidence base about what works to inform policy and practice, embedding lived experience at the heart. That's why I'm very excited to see that the National Disability Research Partnership is now a reality. Our government knows that we need to work together to build better research on issues that affect people with disability. But importantly, the research is done with and by people with disability. The partnership has the collaboration at the heart of its foundation, with the development of the research agenda being a clear example of this. It has been co-designed with people with disability, disability representative organisations and government. This engagement identified that safety was among the areas most often noted as needing greater attention in disability research. It has been highlighted as one of the fundamental challenges routinely experienced by people with disability and what they want addressed. As a result, safety is one of the key themes that underpin the partnership research areas. And we know from the Disability Royal Commission how incredibly important this work is to uphold the rights of people with disability and ensuring we have the right safeguards in place. Disability research supported by the partnership will play a pivotal role in informing laws, reform and services to better support people with disability. This is particularly important in the current environment across Australia, with an increasing need for targeted disability research to align with the changing nature of disability practices, policy and technologies. The research will also support important reforms, including implementation of recommendations from the Disability Royal Commission and the government's response to the independent review of the National Disability Insurance Scheme. By sharing of a range of viewpoints today, we will strengthen our understanding of research around restrictive practices and the pathways forward to reduce and ultimately eliminate their use. When it comes to restrictive practices, our government is taking action. As part of our initial response to the Disability Royal Commission, the Albanese Labor government has invested $1.2 million to reduce and eliminate the use of restrictive practices in the NDIS. This includes the development of a joint action plan with states and territories and the establishment of targets and performance indicators to drive the reduction and elimination of these practices. The Joint Action Plan will ensure engagement and commitment from all jurisdictions and establish strengthened relationships to progress cross-government action to reform the use of restrictive practices. It will also inform future phases of work that will involve reducing and eliminating the use of restrictive practices for people with disability in all jurisdictions across disability, health, education and justice settings. And I look forward to the outcomes of today's event and the future projects of the partnership feeding into this important work. Because our government understands that if we want to see progress, we need to have a strong evidence base to support our work, informed by and anchored in lived experience. To build a safe and inclusive Australia where everyone can participate, we need the lived experience of people with disability to be at the heart of how we work together. And this is what's really unique about this partnership. It provides an opportunity to bring together qualitative and quantitative evidence through embedding experiences and perspectives of people with disability in the research projects pursued. Undertaking inclusive research where people with disability are actively involved and heard will help to find the best ways to improve the experiences of people with disability in this country. It is exciting to see this put into practice through the partnership. Being co-led by people with disability will enable it to give meaningful contributions to how we identify the policy objectives and outcomes set by people with disability and agreed by all governments through Australia's disability strategy. It will also assist with translating research findings into policy and practice that actually meets the needs of people with disability. We are proud to invest in the National Disability Research Partnership as we work together to break down the systemic barriers faced by people with disability. The partnership's role in identifying and pursuing opportunities for future research will be instrumental to policy making in Australia. This includes building the evidence base around safer practices that support people with disability. Today's event, with input from so many sectors across the disability community, will play an important role in that work. And I wish you all the best for this informative and successful day.